Hey, what's up guys? It's Marf and welcome back to another Asphalt 9 video. Today I have a max test review of the KOENIGSEGG CCXR. This is the latest premier S-Class car added to the European season update, and its big controversy is that it is ranked right above the SSC TUATARA, which I will compare it against in this video later on with a couple of races, so be sure to stick around till the end of the video so you can see this car side by side compared to the SSC TUATARA. And why is that such a big deal? I mean, you know, we have other overranked cars in Asphalt 9, but the big controversy is that for a lot of people, the SSC TUATARA is the only car they have access to in the S-Class Elite event. And if that's the case, well, unfortunately, because of the addition of this car, if Gameloft keeps the amount of cars in the S-Class Elite the same, well, that TUATARA is going bye-bye. So you will either need to get this car to partake in the S-Class Elite or get the other cars, which, well, I don't believe those other cars have come back, or there's no news of those cars coming back anyway, so you might not have an S-Class car for that event, and that will actually be the case for me. So I'm hoping that some of those other cars come back, or I have a good chance of unlocking this car because I do want to partake in that event because it does give some nice rewards. But anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about the cars themselves. And that is, well, an interesting discussion because obviously this car is ranked higher than the TUATARA while being a lot slower in terms of top speed. However, do the other stats make up for that rank difference? And, well, in summary, not really. I think this car is really good. But is it better overall than the TUATARA? In my opinion, probably not. Again, it's not that bad. I think a lot of people are making it out to be a much worse scenario than it actually is. People are really freaking out about how overranked this car is. I don't think that's the case. This is an extremely good S-Class car, and anyone who picks it up should not be disappointed with how it performs. And especially because I could see this car being very, very good in multiplayer because it has a good combination of handling and nitro, which is really good for multiplayer. However, like I said, the other stats just don't quite make up for the fact that it has a low top speed compared to all of the other kings of S-Class, and that's the big problem. It is significantly slower with a top speed of only 268 miles per hour with nitro compared to the other cars that go well above 300 miles per hour. So in every other track but maybe the Caribbean, this car will get demolished by the other cars, as you'll see later on in this video, where I do compare it against the TUATARA side by side in the Caribbean and Cairo, two of the extreme case scenarios for these cars' respective strengths. So in about 30 seconds, we'll see what happens on those tracks. So bear with me as we go through this awesome Shanghai run, which is a very good track for this car. But yeah, so in my opinion, is it overranked? Yes, but only just. Again, I don't think it's as crazy as people make it out to be. You'll see that in this video, it does do very respectably on this track of Cairo, but the TUATARA does beat it by over a second, which is a lot. Now, I will have to say, I'm not the best driver. These races are not the best that you will get. I definitely recommend checking out other people's videos for the most extreme races out there. This is just to give you guys a good feel for how the cars compare to each other. But what you'll see is that on this top speed oriented track, the TUATARA does beat it out fairly handily, but on the next track, which will be the Caribbean, the KOENIGSEGG CCXR does beat the TUATARA, but not by as much as the TUATARA beats it on this track, and that's where the main problem comes in, because if it beat the TUATARA on the handling focused track as much as the TUATARA beat it on this track, then we might say that the rank is actually not that bad and we shouldn't really call it overranked. However, what I'm trying to say is that with its strengths, it's not as good compared to the TUATARA with the TUATARA's strength. I know that's really confusing, but yeah, I don't really know a better way to explain it. Is it overranked? Very slightly, but not as much as people make it out to be. If you're really in the top end of multiplayer with the CCXR, you will lose against other cars that go over 300 miles per hour. However, if you're just casually in Legend League, you know, later on into the season, you're not facing the top 1% of players, this car is going to be very, very good in multiplayer because of its handling. And I think this is going to be a really good car for new players because it's very easy to get the max potential of this car. With the TUATARA, you have to be very careful because its handling is definitely worse than the CCXR. So in that case, it might actually be very good for new players to pick up this car compared to one of the other 300-mile-per-hour Kings, just because of how good it is in order to get the potential out of that car. So that's one aspect that I haven't heard a lot of people talking about, is it is easy to really wring out the performance of the CCXR compared to some of the other cars that take a lot of practice. So as we near the second half of this lap of the Caribbean, you'll see that the CCXR does tend to pull slightly ahead compared to the TUATARA, but not by as much as the TUATARA demolished it on the other top speed oriented track of Cairo. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. Again, I think this car is going to be worth it, but you will see these 300-mile-per-hour Kings will beat it on most tracks in most situations. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and let me know what you guys think of this format. Gonna try something new with these max test drives and sort of those comparisons. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video specifically. Let me know your suggestions for which car I should do next in this update. Of course, I'm looking at the Jaguar. That is definitely the most controversial car besides the CCXR. But yeah, anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next video.